If you look at all the response of the entire state to those floods, it has been real time. From CDOT getting the roads open by December 1st, beating it a couple days, to trying to make sure that we can get that people's homes cleaned out, and looking at the volunteers, the number of people that helped is amazing.
Here it is again. When we heard those sounds coming in, the kids were just cheering, and we knew we were going to be saved. And it was incredible walking into the back of a Chinook helicopter with these men guiding us all the way, and we knew we were going to be safe, and that our families were waiting for us. So it was very surreal.
Some of these people had been standing in water for 3 days with their dog when a helicopter finally landed in an open field and they came out. We rescued over 1,200 people by air and over 1,000 pets. Rescue here in Boulder County was the largest pet rescue in American history.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I've never been so happy to see a guy in uniform in my entire life.
Yeah. The water had come out of the banks and was up against the edge of the barn here. The water where we're standing here was waist deep. When it finally got as high as it was going to go, it went over the road here behind us. You hate to lose what you worked all your life for, but we had all our animals and ourselves clear. We're safe. It's nice to know that if I needed it, or even today, I can walk over there and say, hey, I want to borrow your front loader and take it, That's just the way things are around here.
Well, of course, Lyons, Colorado is one of the most devastated communities that we saw as a result of the flooding last year. I mean, so much was damaged. All the infrastructure, when that rain was coming down, we couldn't even reach anybody here, even by phone. We couldn't get any vehicles in here. But what we've seen already, just a year later, is the incredible work that's gone on around restoration, and the level of collaboration that we've seen in this community has really been very impressive. Now, when I'm here to visit the library, which has, of course, had to move 3 times, and it's done so with community support, and what I see is that kind of reflection of what's going on in the broader communities.
Libraries have been such a tremendous support to their communities during the recent horrible flooding and fires in Colorado. They provide services like bringing in laptops so that people can stay on email and keep up to date with the news. They bring story times in and books for the kids to give them something really meaningful to do during their time there. And I think the Lyons Depot Library here is a great example of the lengths that libraries go to in their dedication and passion to serving their communities.
We're working with Volunteers for Outdoor Colorado. Within our work with VOC, we've seen a lot of the areas that have been damaged by the flood. And in this area in particular, we've just seen a lot of the noxious weeds come that were brought by the flooding. And we're just here to help kind of clear some of those. It's really been awesome just to see the people in the community come out to really invest in this area.
We've had 5 floods in 10 years in this location, on a 100-year floodplain. So I would suspect that the floods will get worse as we urbanize this area. There will be less places for the water to flow, and I think it's our job as a community to look and say, let's not just try to contain the river, build higher levees, but let's try to live with the river and how a prairie river moves.
I have never seen rain come down as hard as it did that night. It became very apparent very quick that this was a major flood coming down Fountain Creek through Manitou Springs. People did not panic, they were calm, they were collected, they came together to support one another, to keep the tourists in town visiting safe.
You also have to look at it realistically. We cannot operate solely out of fear that at some point it's going to flood again, because it will. We're going to get rain.
There was one family that I remember that was on their way to a family reunion in Buena Vista at the evacuation center. They were made to feel so welcome. I think the best thing they said was, we're coming back here to Manitou Springs after this is all over with, and they did, because they were just treated with such kindness and compassion during that terrible, terrible event.
These are a great example of really what it is that makes Colorado different, of people coming together and really figuring out how do we get it done and then doing it.